Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight on Sci-Fi Chronicles for yet another Stargate SG-1 live watch-along. And just to get straight into telling you how we're going to do things tonight, we're going to, it will start in about 10 minutes time. We'll just make sure that everybody can get into Discord. If you want to watch the episode live with us, completely free, you can do. We'll be having this YouTube channel open throughout the watch along, so you can comment and join in with us as we go. But the episodes will be in Discord. So what I'll do is I'm quickly going to just move over to Brian, and just Brian will quickly tell you how we're going to set things up for Discord, and then we'll get cracking.
Yeah, not that hard. The link is in the chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat. It's the podcast Discord. Click on that link. It'll take you to a watch party. And in that watch party, the episode will be streaming. And if you do not want to use Discord for some reason, you're like, I don't like Discord. Discord sucks, bro. Why are you guys using Discord? That's fine. Boot up your Amazon Prime or MGM or your box set or your video you downloaded from Pirate Bay about 13 years ago, whatever. And just follow along with the timer that is on the screen. We're gonna do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, start it. And you can just sync up that timer with the episode, and you'll be watching along with us like the bros we are.
Yep. And also, just so everyone's aware, the episodes we're watching tonight, in case you need to rush to your box set and get it in the player, it's Stargate SG-1, Season 1, Bloodlines is the first one, and then we've got Fire and Water for the second episode that we're watching tonight.
Yeah, so on Amazon Prime, it's episode 11 and 12. If you have a box set, it's probably episode 10 and 11.
Yep, that's it.
Bloodlines, Bloodlines. I'm sorry. The episode 12 reminds me of. I just realized this. It reminds me of the Darmak and Goa'uld TNG episode, right?
Yeah,
I just remembered.
That's right.
Yeah. At Tanagra.
At Tanagra.
It's the same vibes. Same vibes.
It is.
Darmak and Goa'uld.
Well, from the opening, little video that John put together, that there's like a fish man in this one tonight. So
yeah, that would be Darmak and Goa'uld guy.
Yeah.
I want sushi now. I'm all of a sudden hungry for sushi.
I had this awesome shirt on my website
last
year before we redid the Mixed Teas site and took down a bunch of products. There was this shirt we called Darmak and Goa'uld, and it had Captain Picard and that guy in cop outfits, like they were like a 70s cop team called Darmak and Goa'uld. It was great. One of my favorite all time.
I'll bet that sound well.
A red Camaro, like
they were on a car. It wasn't a red Camaro. It was like one of those old like the car from Supernatural. What's it called? Like an Impala. Had like the light on the front. It was great. It was Picard and the guy that was too old for this crap, detective.
Oh yeah.
They had
I'm retiring in 30 days, Riggs.
Yeah. I know you're retiring next week, but we have to go on this super dangerous mission together. One last case.
He was like he was retiring in a week for 5 movies.
Right.
However many.
I'm retired in a week, Riggs. I'm getting too old for this crap. I know you're retiring, but one more really dangerous mission that's going to derail your entire career and completely destroy your pension.
They're doing a 5th one. So
really?
Oh yeah, no, and it's
not.
Yeah, they are. It's Mel Gibson's directing, isn't he?
It's either in production or pre-production.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't go check IMDb, Brian.
Yep, it's happening.
You'll believe me.
It's the next thing after his Resurrection of the Christ, I think.
Dude, Danny Glover is so old. That guy.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to.
I legitimately can't wait for him to say, "I'm no longer am I getting too old for this stuff." I just want him to say, "I'm too old for this."
Yeah.
No, you know what? The beginning is going to be like he's going to be like in a hospital bed, and Mel Gibson is going to come and pull him out of the hospital bed for one other big job.
Mel Gibson actually looks pretty great for his age still.
You know what?
Joe Pesci is in it too. Of course he is.
It's going to be about their kids. it'll be about
Yeah.
the kids.
Yeah.
It
I noticed Bob Jennings in it. He's probably playing probably playing the son or something.
It's gonna
So he
happen,
sort of looks
isn't
like the guy.
Well, Mel Gibson's character had a kid at the end of a baby at the end of the last one. So.
That's true.
They did. They did.
Well, everything is new again. They just keep bringing back stuff that doesn't matter.
No, they need to
I'll
reinvent
watch it though.
Yeah.
I'll watch it because I'm a sucker.
They need to call it. I mean, for their own good, they need to call it something other than Lethal Weapon 5 because that'll be a joke. They need to
just redo 48 hours.
Lethal Weapon or something.
Lethal Weapon Bloodlines.
Something like that. Yes.
I just watched Final Destination Bloodlines last night. It's a good movie.
Good.
Yeah. It's very good. I'll be
the
honest
first
with you.
one put me off flying. To be honest,
yeah,
mate.
put everyone else flying, bro. That movie, I dare I say, I think it's the best of all the Final Destination movies.
Never seen a one.
Oh, you're missing out. They're fun, and they have a really cool sort of like underlying message that is deeper than people realize. It's a very deep statement that they make with those films.
Well, I'm looking forward to this coming.
Can't
Friday.
cheat death, bro. Nothing's as sure as death in Texas.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
And
I mean?
on that positive note, welcome everybody.
Let's segue.
Never say that
Talk about death.
never say that this rewatch doesn't leave you with positive messages, viewers.
Nothing as sure as death in Texas.
Well,
Entropy is final.
All we know in one of these episodes, there could be a death. There might not be a death.
Listen, we're watching Stargate. In multiple episodes, there could be deaths.
Yeah.
From this episode going forward until the last episode, people could just die.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
I know when it's coming. That's
3
where they got
people
the idea.
specifically can just die.
That's where they got the Final Destination idea from SG-1, season 1. So,
as long as you tell me, just as long as you tell me the doctor's on it today.
Well,
no, that's next week.
Yeah.
I mean, she might be there, but like she doesn't play a huge part in it.
I think she's in it briefly this episode. So that gives you a reprieve to next week, mate. So you keep your body temperature be stable for a week. That's okay.
That's correct.
If you're new to our watch-alongs, you should know this is the first time seeing these episodes, and also I rate any episodes with the doctor in it much higher.
Yeah, he's talking about Janet Fraser, not the guy with the glasses at the beginning.
No.
Yeah. He's specifically, let's be right. He's actually talking about the older guy in the glasses. He's really attracted to that old guy in the glasses from the first episode.
No,
got a poster on his wall.
He's upset that we haven't seen him in several episodes. He's like, "Where's the doctor?"
I have a Janet Fraser poster on my wall.
I want Brian now to commission a T-shirt of that doctor for Gary. Now,
for Valentine's Day.
I can always use another dust cloth.
But no, are we good to go? So what I'll do is I'll leave you to run the call, Brian, and tell me when you want me to do the countdown and start the clock, and I'll get it going.
Let's go. You ready? Everyone ready? Gary, you ready?
Yep, I am more than ready.
All right, we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
And we're off.
That's his son, Gary.
Okay.
It is indeed.
Flashback.
No, it's not flashback. I always forget his name, by the way. I know it's not Raytech, but I want to say Raytech.
Christopher Mays. I don't think Gary has looked up Doc Fraser's prior acting.
I think his name is Ja Rule.
Yeah.
I think his name is Little Teal'c.
Little Teal'c.
Lil Teal'c.
Lil Teal'c.
Lil Teal'c.
Yeah. Ickle Teal'c.
Bryak. Ryak. It's Ryak.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's your favorite doctor.
You're not seeing much of her, though, I'm afraid, Gary.
Yeah.
Junior's all right.
That's okay. I'll take a rise. It's a itchy skin condition.
Mm. So he's lied to the SGC then. No ties, no attachment.
Well, unless he means that just his son means nothing to him. Just my son.
We shall see. I've tried doing that Richard Dean Anderson look with the cap and the shades on while I'm at work at lunchtime. He looks really cool. I just look like a prat.
You just stare into a mirror and see if you can generate the little spinning Stargate in your iris.
Yeah.
like Richard Dean Anderson.
Just practicing dialing the chevrons. Yeah.
They're like they're it's like, what's he doing? I'm trying to get it to.
I just realized for Halloween we should all cosplay as a Stargate SG-1 character.
Oh yeah.
Gary can come as Teal'c and we'll get canceled.
I'm being a bit worried about me and you, Brian, if one of us
John
came as Fraser.
John can be Shara from the pilot.
Sorry.
Nobody wants to see that.
I sort of do.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah, RDA looks so good there.
Yeah.
I saw him recently on a.
Is that a Comic-Con pick?
I saw him recently on a web call with the companion, and he looks very old now.
I hate it. Yeah, you know it's going to happen, but I hate that, don't you? It's just like
age catches up to everyone, dude. He looks very old, like older than my dad somehow.
It's like I remember when he did Continuum, and I think he said he did his knee in at the time, and you could see that in the scenes he was in, he was struggling a bit walking.
Right.
And that's 2009.
I know. It's 2025 now. Yeah, everyone age catches up with everyone, that's for
sure.
Yeah.
Wait, so why was Teal'c being, monitored medically at the beginning? Did they try to take his?
They're trying to take the
implant out.
Yeah, they're trying to take the symbiote out so they can give him another drug that will replace the symbiote, and then they can study the symbiote. But they put it back in because he wasn't responding to it.
Right, gotcha.
And Gary, that does play out future series from now about what they're doing.
Okay.
And what they're doing now does play out in like 3 seasons.
Yeah,
we'll get there. We'll get there in a couple of years.
Yeah. This is what they call laying the foundations.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is the Roman road, bro.
This is so the two of you can hold your foreknowledge over me and talk about spoilers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we should give Gary a lemon for a Christmas. We're gonna send you a bunch of lemons, Gary. Gary has no idea what we're talking about right now. And marriage cake, but you know that one.
Yeah. You better send me somebody that looks like what's her name?
Janet Fraser.
No, well, I was going to say whatever from the
marriage cake episode. Yeah,
Jack's wife.
Oh yeah. So again, you're seeing how much he's given up for the greater good in his mind. He's basically made that hard choice.
His family.
when he walks away, he's thinking they're going to kill my family, but I've got to do this. Christopher Mays, we do indeed. An iconic character.
So this is basically the Stargate Bar Mitzvah episode.
Yeah, it's like the Quantum Leap episode, mate. I love General Hammond. Oh, you've considered the risk, have you? Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, who's General?
But I like the fact that he allows himself to be persuaded if the argument's good enough.
Yeah. That they are good at convincing him there's a military reason for doing the mission, you know.
One. He's about to give him the business. Colonel, will you join me in my office?
Yes. Take your pants off, please.
Oh, that's even worse. Shut the door.
Pants off. Pants off.
You know what this is?
No,
this is pain.
This is an RTD's office.
Have you ever heard of bioregeneration?
Yeah. We've got some intel from a planet.
Let me show you how it works.
Yeah, Christopher Mays. When we get to Daniel built like a brick shithouse, you know, that's proper Daniel Jackson. Short,
Yeah.
you know, tidy hair. He's been working out in the gym.
Yeah, he's super cut.
Yeah.
Good for the general. It's like, if you're not going to be straight with me, get out.
That's what I love about Hammond. He's always 2 steps ahead, isn't he? You know?
Teal'c. Yeah, see, he's concerned about him, dude.
Yeah.
That's the important part of this. It's less about the base and more that he cares about the dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
I love Hammond, man.
Yeah.
Like,
All honor, that guy.
yeah, guy is such a G. There's not a single moment he disappoints me in this series.
No. One of my favorite lines in season 1 is where he says to Samuels, is it from your lips to God's ears?
Oh yeah.
It's brilliant.
When he meets with the president at the end of the season, it's so great.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much.
It is.
I mean, dude, the president's sort of based too. When he in that Anubis episode, he's based. He's
yeah. Never gonna
when
happen.
He stands him down. Yeah, never gonna happen, buddy.
We're
he
gonna
stands
fight.
him down. Oh, it's such a cool story. I was like, I would vote for that guy, Democrat or not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, president was awesome.
Yeah. And again, banging episodes there. Great 2-parter. Can't wait to get to that one.
No, he let him up too easy. That was a mistake.
I do think those Serpent guards look cool, though. I always liked it, like iconic.
Yeah, somehow an upgrade from the movie, which is certainly incredible.
Because you were saying as well, they were meant to be really uncomfortable, weren't they? Wearing those.
You watched the movie, right, Gary?
Oh yeah, no, I've seen this movie several times. Both versions.
So originally they were going to use the same helmets, but they had a ton of CGI to make them work. And if you think about the amount of times they actually have to adjust them, it literally just would cost too much. So they took those helmets and the inspiration for that and made a whole physical version of it, which means the movie could have done that and chose to go with CGI instead.
Yeah, Christopher Mays
sort of dates it.
Christopher Mays as well. I think from memory, if we're talking about the Lost City 2-parter, from memory, I think that was going to be a movie.
That was going to be
a movie,
and
then the movie didn't happen, and they turned it into a 2-parter, and the 2-parter is phenomenal.
You mean they were going to make a movie during the series?
Yeah, Dude, Gary. At some point, this series was like the most popular thing on TV. It was like the Game of Thrones of its time, or Star Trek. When Star Trek was at peak, this was peak TV for a long time.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, there was a movie deal that fell through because Sci-Fi didn't want to share the. They had to share with Roland Emmerich because apparently Roland Emmerich has rights to movies, Stargate movies.
Yeah. Okay.
So they would have had to include him, and they chose not to have to include him because he's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah. And the thing is, they really fleshed out his episode, his story, his movie, they did so much more for it.
He hates the fact that they added all this lore to the movie. When they were going to do a sequel to Stargate, he wanted to completely start over and make a direct sequel to only the movie and ignore the TV show, which is why it didn't happen.
Yeah.
The contract they signed with him was a mistake.
Yeah,
I get that Teal'c is like shocked here, but he can't be that surprised. I mean, he had to know his actions were going to have repercussions.
You would think, wouldn't you, really?
There he is. That's my boy.
Yay. completely agree. Christopher Mays, it's the series that makes it just so
it's
good.
true. What makes it my favorite movie is the series. The movie on its own is just okay. It's good. It's not like something classic. The series is what makes it a classic.
Yeah.
Takes out for Braytac.
Yeah.
No, a human woman.
Oh, there you go, Jack.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just showed them his balls right there.
Yeah.
See these giant testicles, bro?
Yeah.
If they introduced Braytac any other way, I would have been pissed.
Yeah. I mean, again,
Over
this is all
100 years old.
credit. It's mad.
He's mad. Now he's like, I'm sorry. He thinks he just kicked the old guy's butt.
Absolutely, Christopher Mays. Yeah. But don't you think as well that it just shows the talent of the writers? This guy's been on screen in under 5 minutes and you already love him.
Yeah, you love him. Yeah. 5 minutes is all it takes.
Yeah.
And you trust him. You don't think he's like a threat, to the team.
And I love that comment there that Jack puts in. Over 100 years old, you must work out.
We said 130, right?
133.
Okay.
Yeah. And Neil's like, oh, damn. We're about to go off mission.
Well, no, I thought that's what they came to do, is find the sun, right?
Wow. They also knew they wanted to get the symbiote as well.
A minute ago, we were warriors of great skill and gunning. He goes, a human woman?
Yeah. Twitter's just gone completely wild now that that's been broadcast.
Oh, yeah. Tumblr lost their mind back then. This is great. The bridge is too well guarded. I love Braytac so much.
Right.
John,
I don't like this episode, but I love this character.
Yeah.
John, you should put that sound clip in the face. Yeah. What? A human woman? And then just see what happens.
Yeah, we'll do.
See what the comments are like.
Yeah. See me being like burnt like the Wicker Man.
A human woman?
Yeah. Burn him.
Or whatever. He's gone from like I'm in charge to whatever.
Do you know what? When I was
this is
doing my game,
important.
Hmm.
I guess for American television, saying that a lot of people believe in a guy, I guess that's as good as you're going to get.
Yeah.
From Texas. That's the important part. Remember when Brady Tech made something? Hammond,
Hammond.
Texas.
Now you will see in this, Gary. You see in this episode, you see an example of Daniel really breaks his cool in this episode as well.
Well, Sam, obviously there's symbiotes. Come on, what does she think they'd be?
You know, I don't believe in the Goa'ulds, but their style of dress is very. Need to bring that back.
It's like ancient Saxon monks. You know, that style.
Of course, it's a bell. It's a cloister bell.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with Christopher Mays. Can we spend more time? With the white lady wearing Egyptian garb. Hammond of Texas.
Yeah. Unhand me, woman. I always remember playing the first Force Unleashed game on my PS5 a few years ago, and it was Braytak who was the Jedi Master as a hologram, and it was so cool.
That's rad. Shoba.
And of course, Chris Judge is, God of War now.
Who's the hooded person?
Yeah.
Oh, she was on Eureka.
Was she?
Oh yeah, she was.
She was the main. She was the main female scientist on Eureka.
Yeah. The lead with Jack, remember?
Yes, I loved Eureka.
Eureka's a great show.
And Warehouse 13.
So I love those two too. By the way, they connect those two. Those were on the Sci-Fi channel. Yeah.
They're connected. They did crossovers.
Yeah, they're in the same universe. Yeah, super rad.
Cool.
You haven't seen those yet, John?
I've not seen those.
That's our next watch along after Stargate.
Yeah,
we're doing Eureka.
Eureka is fantastic.
Yeah.
Eureka's lighter but well written, and Warehouse 13 is builds an amazing mythology.
Yeah, it does. A little dark at times, though.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah,
out of the two, I prefer Eureka.
Yeah.
But they're both very good.
Was that the one with Christian Kane in it, the guy from Angel, that went over to Warehouse?
No, that's the Librarians.
Librarians, that's it.
Yeah,
that's also a good one.
I still think Leverage is better than Librarians, by the way.
I'm actually re-binging Leverage.
I know they're the same cast and
I'm almost
same
at
creator.
the end of season 4 on that one. Christian Kane is in everything that Dean Devlin does these days.
Yeah, Dean Devlin is the one that does Librarians and Leverage.
Yeah. And Christian Kane was in a really good 2-season show called Almost Paradise a couple years ago.
Yeah, it hasn't been canceled yet. They're looking for a new network.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Joseph Malazzi told me that.
I've good because I've binged that like 2 or 3 times.
Almost Paradise is great.
Yep.
Christopher Mays, good question, because it's not really cleared up. They kind of just go back to a camp, don't they? Or Braytac.
Yeah,
they go with
where
Braytac,
are they going to stay in Earth? Because like Teal'c stays in the base.
Yeah. You've got to go through the green card process first.
Right. I'm just like, no, you can't come here.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna...
Well, you're coming from an alien world. You've got no ID. Sorry, you're going to have to fill out these forms.
You're going to spend a lot of time in the asylum holding.
Yeah, I think if he brought those two back to Earth, it would be basically just like you'd never see them. They would just keep referring to them that they're there.
Yeah, it's too many characters.
Yeah.
I think Lord Foss might be onto something there because I seem to recall, and it might be this episode or another one.
Lord Thoth.
But I think Braytac goes to teach his son, train his son.
Right. Yeah.
I think that might be a reason why they stay. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, in the chat. I'm absorbed in the episodes because I'm watching them for the first time. Yeah, let's do a spin-off with them.
Yeah. They just pick them up on the Vegas Strip. They go, do you want to be at Stargate?
Brad Wright went to a car show and just got the hottest possible chicks they can find.
Stargate Vegas. I'd watch Stargate Vegas.
There's an episode called that. There's an Atlantis episode called Vegas.
It's good.
It's very good.
Good episode.
It's one of my favorite all-time episodes.
And they got a quality Johnny Cash song in the episode as well.
Oh, what a great a custom version for a Stargate episode. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
Such a good episode.
Now, why does okay? I know there's probably a reason for it. Why then does he have the gold of the Jaffa and she has the design?
Because he was first prime.
It's not in gold.
Because he was first prime. He was like their first he was like the first officer, the sergeant. He was like number one in Star Trek.
He speaks to Apophis.
Yeah.
So he has status.
Anyone's second in command to Apophis has the gold, and the regular Jaffa have the black.
Yeah.
So does that mean that if his son gets implanted, that he'll have the
black,
the insignia? Okay.
The black insignia, yeah.
But I think it's the women don't actually have. I think they just have like an inked-on version of it. They don't. Whereas when you go into the ranks as a male,
you get a tattoo, yeah.
Yeah.
And the gold tattoo is actually painful. They literally like gold. They pour gold on you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the stuff you put in ramen.
Hmm. Yeah. Would you put your hand in there and grab one?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like that Flash Gordon scene in the tree.
Yeah.
Oh, very good that she went back for some of the liquid. That makes sense. Very nice, Joe.
She's a scientist.
It's an electrolyte.
Yeah.
It's like Gatorade for symbiotes.
You think there's like a Jaffa sponsor? This is a good scene.
Oh, that's BS.
Yeah, by the way, she changes that opinion very quickly.
There's no moral equivalence.
She doesn't know that. She's new to this.
Good for you, Daniel.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Guess I'm not as good as they are.
Yeah.
That's an idiotic belief that there's a moral equivalence.
She changes that opinion pretty quickly.
Yeah, she does.
The first season, she had some liberal ideas.
She's very green in season 1.
Some progressive ideas.
Yeah. As soon as you get up close and personal,
do they have
those
any of
things,
those?
you change
Do they have
your
any of
tune.
those symbionts as like Stargate merch that you can buy? Or
Don't give
little-
Brian ideas.
little rubber symbionts?
Yes. Brian's got a pond full of symbiotes at home.
Hey, are you kidding me? I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Gary is the apt customer for my store.
But when I was watching the Brain Show last night, I saw Brian and Shane's eyes both flash.
What we were talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about what is it?
Oh, the giant, his giant vase cup. Remember that?
Yeah.
Teal'c's going to give him his.
There you go, Brian. Christopher Mays.
Gordon is alive. Christopher Mays.
I did say that.
And yeah, last the Shane Cup.
The Shane Cup. That's going up this week. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
3 people in the world are gonna buy it, but I don't care. It's going up.
What you want to do is just make one and just let people fight over it.
Wait, a question. Teal'c. Oh, this is gross. Teal'c didn't want his son to be made a Jaffa, but what happens to young men like his son who have the Jaffa because they have the opening there in their chest, but they never get implanted? What happens to them?
They die. No immune system.
They have no immune system. So
he would live his life, just not live forever.
Yeah.
He would die pretty quickly without that.
Yeah. So when they become like 13 or so, they need to get a symbiote or they die, because when they hit adolescence, that the symbiote takes over they're genetically engineered humans basically.
Yeah.
They need the thing to live.
Christopher Hayes, I thought the same.
Yeah. Oh, that's a CGI.
Like, what the hell? Why is it so big?
That was CGI.
He's like, I saw that jug last night and I thought Shane must be the size of a planet. It's like Galactus.
He's a really big dude. Yeah. That's why when I saw that, I'm like, you don't understand. Like, he's holding a flower vase as a cup. And regular people might not realize that he's holding a flower vase.
Yeah. Just
he's as big as the mountain from Stargate. He's like he's easily 1.5 feet taller than me, dude.
see that, like what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago, Gary. That's what's happening to Teal'c now, isn't it? You know, he's not got it.
Oh, look,
the immune system, it's all hitting him.
Yeah.
Luckily they have one.
Yeah.
Hardly a problem. Let me open my magic thermos. Good for you.
Good
Jack.
point.
Good for you. So what?
Yeah.
Surprised that Braytac is, about the sepulchre.
I mean, dude, he's 133 years old, and 100 of those years was in service to these gods.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get. Yeah, that's a good point.
But
Even if he
also-
knows they're false gods now, a lot of that programming is still there. So this is important.
John, that's the same view that Davison had of Perry.
This is important, guys. Teal'c is getting a younger symbiote that is less powerful.
Yeah.
Remember?
Okay.
Which his sacrifice actually gives him more time to be himself.
Yeah. Junior Mark II.
Right. Mark II, yeah. This is
Here
technically
come the Ewoks. Here come the Ewoks.
The furlings.
Yub nub. Yub nub. Yub nub. Does that mean we're going to get a lappy neck song at the end of this?
Yeah. Hi, Victor Fontaine. Good to see you. Yeah. Welcome. Good to have you part of the community. It's an absolute joy, this series, for me and Brian, and Gary's been enjoying watching it from the start. Enjoy it with us, comment along, and good to have you with us.
Yeah, I've been enjoying getting spoiled every 10 minutes by these two.
You expected nothing less, though. I know that.
Yeah.
I see him turning his mic off every once in a while.
Yeah.
I have a big red mute button next to me.
To be honest, Gary emails me throughout the week, and he basically campaigns for just purely Janet Fraser episodes.
Well, yes,
going
that
forward.
is true. that part is true.
His son is cool now, but like in other episodes, he's a little bit of a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah, you just
okay. So they come back.
Just want to headbutt him.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't guarantee that.
I mean, they got Braytac.
133, but he does establish he's kind of doing an insurrection on building a rebel group.
Yeah, he's working on it.
Yeah. Thank you for the present, Father.
Thank you, Father.
I'm going to call him Percy.
That's
funny.
Here's the plan. You will do as I say.
Christopher Mays, yeah.
I like the fact that
that's a factual statement, Chris.
I like the fact that they can do a scene like that, but it doesn't take away from Jack's authority. That's actually good writing.
Right.
Yeah. Christopher Mays to Gary. Yeah. I completely agree and support this. You will get to that point.
I feel like when we get to that point, I'm gonna have no problem saying we're doing 3 episodes.
Well, we
a week.
did 3. We did 3 last time.
Yeah, and there's days I can do that. Today isn't one of those days, but
yeah, I think the difference for me and you is we don't have family.
Just blast these guys.
If all of us were single right now, we'd be doing like 4 or 5 back to back.
I knew that guy was going to be trouble.
Christopher Mays, I get it. I don't know how you can't resist, can you? It's so good. Yeah.
Delayed gratification is a real thing, though, guys.
Yeah.
Because after our episodes, when I go to bed that night, I consider putting it on.
I like
Yeah,
the
you
I
do.
like the actor that plays Braytech, but I could see Brian Blessed doing that part too.
Brian Blessed, yeah.
I gotta say, he held up too age-wise. Like, you see
Yeah.
him in interviews now, he still looks pretty good.
Yeah, he does.
And Chris
But yeah,
Chris Judge looks exactly the same.
Yeah. I think I'm the same when I go to bed. I'm like, okay, but I go to Atlantis. I go, I'll stick an
Okay,
Atlantis
now hold
on.
on. That's just foolish. He needs to, I'm not advocating murder. It's a Sunday, but he needs to, for his own survival,
Gary, he does kill them.
kill those two guards.
He does.
priests
He
of the guard.
100% kills them. That's my head
Absolutely.
canon. Like, as soon as they leave, he goes, all right, pop,
He
pop,
has-
pop, pop.
There's no scenario in which he survives if those three are alive.
Yeah.
None at all.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian, there you go. Just leave the stream running when you go next time. Everyone will still be here. You come in, you go,
Yeah,
where
we'll-
are you?
we'll-
Go,
we'll
season
check in.
3.
We'll check in during the week.
Christopher Mays, yeah, he was great in I, Claudius.
Nick.
Tech Master Braytech.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
now hang
right.
on. During
Mhm.
all right, during this slide here, executive producers, we should have heard the sound of like 3 blasts. That would have been
Yeah.
that would have been perfect.
That would have been brilliant. Like, this comes up, and then you just hear.
So,
You just hear
so
like
guys,
as the right before the music starts, the pew pew pew, and then they go to the music. They
Yeah,
should
my
have done
head
that.
canon is the second they went through that gate, he just took those dudes out.
Yes,
Yeah,
because
I agree.
that character has absolutely no problem killing plenty of people.
and he's like, I can't let you live and tip off what I've just done. So I'm going to have to snap
Especially
your
after
neck.
saying he's going to take care of the Teal'c's family and all that. Like,
Yeah,
that guy died. Sorry, bro.
no way.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
Guys, I'll start with you, Gary, and also everyone in the chat. What would we give this score? A score out of 10 for this episode?
All right. Well,
What's everyone thinking?
okay. I'm going to be scoring it, keeping in mind the fact that you've told me that all of these characters come back. So,
Well, yeah, they do. I was right. So O'Neill comes back,
No,
Teal'c comes back,
you
Daniel
told
and
me-
Carter.
You told me that basically Braytech and everybody else, his wife, comes back.
Right.
So this is obviously, one of the kind of foundational episodes for later.
Yeah.
I like this one. I mean, not really a lot. I mean, beyond introducing these characters, it's a standard. They go in, they blast some people, and they get them out. I'll give it a strong 6 because
Yeah.
I like Braytech. But
Brian?
the actions, in terms of what happens during the episode, is ultimately not that much. Really.
Yeah, not much happens. It's lore building. It is laying the Roman road for the symbiote stuff and how they're gonna, cross that bridge. No pun intended. When they get to it, because they do have to deal with the symbiote. They can't just allow Teal'c to continue running around base with a larva in his belly. That when it finally takes over is going to try to take over the entire planet, right?
Yeah.
So they do have to deal with it. So that's important. The foundation that it's laying for that it's addressing that right away, and the character foundation for Braytech makes it for me probably a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, Laura Todd's right. It's because it's an important episode. It's laying the foundation for a lot of stuff in the future. That is epic in proportion.
I'd give it a 7 as well. It's not in my 8 out of 10 level status at the moment. I think, like I say, there's a lot of stuff building. I love the introduction of Braytech, just from the first time watching it. As I said, in under 5 minutes, you completely love that character, and it's well written, it's well done. And yeah, 7 or 10, I think, fits it quite nicely. I also want to say, Victor Von Taine, appreciate the prep and the work you've done for this watch along. You binge watched the first 3 Blu-rays of season 1 just to get ready for today's stream. Now that is great, my friend. I respect
awesome.
that.
Yeah, I want to give, just going off topic of Stargate a second, I want to give a monumentally huge shout out to Victor Fontaine for choosing the name and the icon of my second most favorite character in all of Deep Space Nine, the first being Garak.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean, so hail to you, Victor Fontaine, for choosing such an awesome icon there. I have 2 questions about this episode. One is, does it come up later that, because I'm thinking about, okay, so Teal'c transferred his larva to his son. Is there like a transfer of like memories that go along with that? Like, does the son know everything? Okay,
there isn't, because so there is a little bit of mental connection with the larva when they're in their belly, but there's two factors. The Goa'uld that's in there is way too young, and at that age they can't actually take control of their host. So the Jaffa are basically incubators for these larvae that are growing to full size before they can take over. Secondly, they're not actually connected to the host. Like, they're not connected to their brain stem or their body.
That's why I asked you.
They're sitting in there, and the host,
just running the show.
Yeah, the host is running the show, and their body is basically incubating this thing, and the trade-off is that this thing provides the nutrients as their what's it called, like, to fight sickness or whatever, their immune system.
Immune system.
Right. So there is a little bit of a connection that they share because it's, you know, it's in their body, and it does have those powers, but it's so young it cannot.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens is, they do address this in the future, is if a larva does get to its age where it no longer needs to be incubated, in a pinch it can take over the Jaffa as a host. But they don't actually like the Jaffa. That's like
they're like cattle.
They're like cattle.
So here's my question. My other question, I guess it ties into that. Now, obviously, you both said, okay, this was a world building episode where it introduces these characters and starts to introduce more about the lore of the symbionts and the Jaffa and everything. Do you know that when this show was originally created, were they creating the mythology like bit by bit, or did they have like a Bible where a lot of this was there that they just kind of like then parsed out little by little?
The first 3 episodes were planned out because Showtime actually gave them a contract for 3 seasons. I'm sorry, for the first 3 seasons were planned out.
So they knew they even at this point, if you could tell us everything about the, Jaffa and how the symbionts work, they could already lay it all out, even though it hadn't been spelled out.
Yeah, they had already written the first 3 seasons.
All right.
So they had essentially written like almost 60 episodes of television. So they knew what they were going to do. They had a contract for 3 seasons. In fact, when you get to the end of 3 seasons, you'll notice a monumental shift for season 4. And that's because it completely changes where it's being played, but also who is funding it. And so everything changes.
It went to the Sci-Fi channel, right? From Showtime?
Yeah. So there was a monumental shift in season 4 because in the back end, who was paying for it, who was distributing it, who was actually airing it, completely changed, which meant contracts. This is the boring part, but contracts between actors, producers, directors, that also all changed. And not all those contracts were honored. Not all those contracts were sorted out. And you'll notice in season 4, a massive change, which I'm not going to tell you what it is, because not everyone.
That's a change, everybody. He's not going to tell me what it is.
Because not everyone decided that they were on board with the change. And we'll get there. I don't want to ruin it now. But when we get there, it's going to be fun.
Basically, when we get to season 4, it's just one character. It's just O'Neill. He's running the SGC
Yeah,
all
they
by
They
himself.
renamed the show MacGyver.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He clones himself with an alien technology, and there's just a ton of O'Neills running around doing everything.
Yeah.
No,
Arguing with each other.
The reason I asked that, because I would think that on something like this, where, I mean, if you're building the mythology bit by bit, you get to a point where if you haven't already like pre-decided it all, you just better hope that it all fits together. So that's why I was just kind of asking what their
Yeah, no, they did. I would also say from the comments as well, Julie Coonan, nice to see you, and it's nice that it's your first time joining us. So I hope you enjoyed the first episode from what you saw of it. I hope you enjoy the second episode. But yeah, great to have you in the community and in the chat. So hello.
I do want to say to
Julie
Christopher,
Coonan.
I do want to say to Christopher's newest post, I actually am a newbie. I have not. I am waiting on to watch Brian's Stargate documentary for probably a long while, because all this is new to me.
Put his post up there. Spoiled. Put that comment up there, John. He's got a good point. None of this can be spoilers if everyone has been fans of the Podcast Bros and watched the Stargate retrospective. Yeah, but I'm banking that not everyone has watched it.
Yeah.
And I know Gary hasn't. So we're acting as if people aren't all fans.
Oh, well,
of the
okay.
Podcast
Very
Brothers.
good. He says he was just shamelessly plugging your video. So that's
I see. Yeah, go watch it.
Yeah,
this will be in the mail to you, Christopher.
We're going to be redoing our Stargate retrospective. We're going to be starting with SG-1, Atlantis, and Universe. So this is actually good practice for me too, because at the end of the year, our Christmas present to everyone. I'm not supposed to tell anyone in this, so don't repeat this. But our Christmas present will be this a completely redux version of the SG-1, specifically retrospective. It's going to be great. And
trust me, if you haven't seen the first one, trust me, you're going to enjoy the second one, because the first one is top draw. And just looking at some of the things as well, scores, Lord Foth gives it an 8 out of 10. So high scores from Lord Foth. Juliet gives it an 8 out of 10. So another decent score there. And then Christopher Mays gives it a 7 out of 10. Not much happens in it, but it gives us a great intro to Braytac, who is a great recurring character. And it lays the foundation for really important lore down the road. So, on board with what we were saying a few minutes ago.
For Julia and for Christopher, just FYI, for my own personal rating system, and I use this not only for this, but like on the, when John and I rate, like, Doctor Who on our other streams as well.
I want to make it clear. I don't rate Doctor Who.
No, the classic. I mean, we're reviewing the classic. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, no. I mean, no, I was right, because what's on now is not Doctor Who. But anyway, I reserve the 8 through 10 interval for like just episodes that really just completely bowl me over. So if it's like a 7 or 6, that's like as high as, that's like for me like a really high thing before you get to the wow category. So it's not that if I say like 6 or 7, it's not that I don't think that to me that's not a low score, because it's like that's at the high end of my regular interval.
Right.
Yeah. So
what's the next episode?
Yeah, and Stacey's just quickly just saying he's new to SG-1 completely, so I'm glad he's joined us for the last few weeks, and glad you're enjoying it.
Stace, that's my gig.
Yeah,
I'm that's my little area.
He's a rival.
I'm the newbie here.
Yeah, so
I'm hoping there's gonna be multiple newbies though.
Yeah.
All right. What's the next episode?
Training. So here we go. So okay. The next episode is Fire and Water.
Victor Fontaine is you guys, we're getting like a lot of newbies. This is great. Victor Fontaine is also a newbie. So wow.
Yeah. We're recruiting today.
We're recruiting.
Yeah.
Amazon is going to pay us handsomely for this recruitment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So the next episode is.
Let's do it. So it's Fire and Water.
It's called Fire and Water. Yeah, if you're watching on Amazon or MGM, then it's episode 12. If you got a box set, it's episode 11. Yep. We are streaming it in Discord. The link is pinned in the chat.
Yep.
And you can join us there. And if you don't want to join us there, then just sync up the timer on screen with the timer on whatever your medium is. You guys ready?
Yep.
Let's rock.
Countdown.
3, 2, 1.
and we're off.
I'm gonna miss that MGM Lion when
Yeah.
when they reboot it.
Yeah,
We're not gonna have that again.
It's like Bond though as well. I miss it at the beginning of a Bond. You
Yeah.
know, it's just iconic.
I miss the UA United Artists logo in Bond.
Yeah.
Alf World Activation.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to know who was saying that if Walter's in the room with him.
Yeah. He set up a recording, didn't he?
Yeah. That sounds like Walter too.
Yeah.
I met Walter at a con once, dude. Really nice guy.
I watched
Wait, isn't the Iris on?
Yeah, because there's no SG, there's no
Signal.
there was no IDC.
All right, okay.
He was in another show I watched the other day, a 90s show. Walter turned up in it, and I was like, oh, blimey. He gets around. Uh-oh.
That won't be the first time he says that, huh?
Yeah.
I can't get over that.
They must just get fed up with arranging funeral services.
There is a joke at one point in a future episode, I think, where he goes like, I think he goes, are we having a funeral for Daniel? Daniel goes, we're going to wait a bit.
Yeah. Teal'c's got like 5 flags.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's still in the credits.
Yeah. Still with the 90s James Spader haircut.
Although, you know what they should have done? I would have cost something, but it would have been good for this particular episode. Just created credits without him in it.
Yeah, there's no Daniel Jackson in the credits.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, it would have been a pain.
Like,
but
oh my gosh!
they should have done that for this.
I think Lower Decks did that one time.
Yeah,
did they?
Yeah, Lower Decks is actually way more clever than people think.
I'm an unapologetic fan of Lower Decks.
Yeah, so am I. I think I actually like that show.
Yes,
it's the only
only
good
seen
new
2
track out,
episodes.
it's the only
aside
good.
from
It's
Picard
the only
season
good
3.
Kurtzman. Yeah, it's the best. Yeah. Oh, so
I've
I'm
seen
gonna like
2
this
episodes.
episode. I'm going to like this episode already because the doctor's in it.
She's
Can't wait
up.
till next week. Gary's mind's gonna blow up next week. His brain's gonna explode out of his head.
Yeah, I think we're going to have
Does
to.
the doctor go undercover as a Vegas showgirl? Please tell me yes.
It's better than that, dude.
I think because of Gary next week, we're going to have to put warning, explicit content warning on the show.
My drool will short out my mind.
Next week, can we just full screen Gary the entire time? We'll be talking in the background, but we're just gonna full screen your face.
My eyes will
Just
be
drooling into the
bugged
cam.
out. Okay. Tell me she cosplays as an Orion
Yeah.
slave girl.
Something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Can't wait. You know, we still have time to do 3 episodes today.
We got to wait, dude.
That medical officer is like, I am not getting blood out of that guy.
Teal'c is so beefy, man. He's a friggin' looks like one of those bodybuilders on like Seal Beach or something. He's a strong dude.
I remember when he turned up as just a grunt in Dark Knight Rises. And he was jacked in that as well, wasn't he?
You know, jacked, bro.
Yeah. I mean, me and him stood next to each other at Comic-Con having a photo shoot. We both look like complete buff beefcakes, you know. They're just you know, it's like over the top with Stallone where we're locking arms, you know, just
Okay. All of a sudden it's
Lord Toth, Lady Toth should cosplay as an Orion.
Fantasy hour.
21 years of marriage, and I've been trying to get my wife to do that. 21 years. I ask her once a year, every year. She said no every time.
Do you know what? If she says yes, we're going to do a special.
When she said yes, I'm quitting YouTube. I'm done. You guys just will never see me again. No streams. They're like, where did Brian go? Oh, I know what happened.
Well, you know when they announce a new pope, like they have the smoke come out the chimney. With you, there'll be a special mixed tees t-shirt produced that'll just blow away.
Green smoke. I disappear from the internet forever.
Yeah. Shane's drinking an Orion Slave Girl tumbler.
They must be using like an 80s video camera to record these meetings because the resolution on that camera is really.
Well, this aired at 4:3 aspects, so they actually added. They changed it to 1920 by 1080p. I'm sorry, 16:9 aspect ratio.
No, I was talking about like in the little video camera that's set up in this meeting room to record what they say.
Oh, right.
And the little no, I wasn't commenting on the actual, but when it shows the little screen that they're being recorded on, it's like this grainy 70s video, and it's like, you know.
No, Enterprise did it good too, Lord Toth. Enterprise had a really good Orion scene, Slave Girl scene.
It did.
It rivals the original.
In A Mirror Darkly, though, I also love that that episode for it as well.
We'll have to do a special like 2-hour like Orion girls special at some point.
Ben Casey, I don't know what you mean. That must be another John, not me.
That's John with an H. He's John with no H.
Yeah. Not going anywhere near that.
John tells me he liked the episode from yesterday. This is my last broadcast.
Yeah. Hammond has no idea what she's saying there, does he? It's the Top Gun scenario he's got going, isn't it, Hammond? Get him up flying as quick as possible.
Good for her. Good. I like this episode because she's clearly running things.
Hammond does listen, though. That's what I like about him. You know, he doesn't just go no. He'll listen to let them state their case. Then he'll make his call on it. You know. Victor Fontaine. I tried watching in the UK on cable Stargate SG-1 a couple of years back. It was unwatchable. It was just the picture quality was so bad. So I always go back to my DVD set. Thankfully, I got a good 4K player that does a good upgrade as well.
Oh, you got one of the upscale ones?
Yeah. I've got. I did a bit of research on it, but I thought like these DVDs and stuff, I watch again and again, so I want to make sure it's top quality.
I don't think that I may be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. They wouldn't do that if he wasn't in the military.
No, they would if he was a DoD employee, high-ranking DoD.
Okay, all right.
And if he's still still a civilian working for the military, then he has to be working for the DoD.
Okay, because
That's how he gets paid.
I have 2 of those for both my mom and my dad.
Yeah, I got one from my grandpa.
Okay.
And when I die, my wife will get one. Yeah, but so if you're a high-ranking DoD operative, then you also get the military funeral. You also have to apply for it. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Gives it to Teal'c. Is that purely because he doesn't have any other family and effectively he's technically the civilian?
He has no family.
Teal'c.
He has no family.
Yeah.
Teal'c's his only family.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that woman's been in the military.
Yeah, she had a perfect cross turn.
And the salute.
Well, this is what I like about Stargate SG-1 is you did have a lot of military, collaboration, didn't you, with the Air
That's true,
Force
yeah.
in the series?
Yeah, they got shots of NORAD. They actually went to NORAD.
Yeah.
In fact, at NORAD right now in Cheyenne Mountain, there's a closet that's labeled Stargate, but when you open it up, it's just a supply closet. They mess with people when they do tours.
Brilliant. It's like
really
Continuum
cool.
as well. They show the sub as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So
I think it's funny. Imagine doing a tour of NORAD and you see a big door and it says Stargate Command.
yeah.
Then you open it up and there's a bunch of toilet paper and cleaning supplies.
yeah, just you're sort of running along and you're going, don't tell me anything about the aliens. Just tell me about where Stargate is.
That's cool.
Both those actors, by the way, are Canadian.
You know what they should do for the tour you were just talking about? If they have people coming through, put a sign up that's saying, like, a door that says, like, Stargate Command. It says, like, closed until tomorrow. So everybody's going, oh, we came on the wrong day. Yep, I knew it.
But do you think, like with what Lord Foff has said there, one of the reasons it became successful was because it was that military show, sci-fi show, it had the Air Force in it. It was going through the gate. That was part of its popularity.
Yeah, the military loved this show. There was actually funding. The Air Force funded part of the stuff for this, and they used footage from this for their recruitment material. There was you don't see that anymore in TV shows where like the military is working hand in hand with it.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice tie-in to the movie. Oh, you're kidding me. I like Teal'c in this outfit.
I know you were, Ben Casey. It's terrible, isn't it? Yeah, Teal'c with a hat.
Looks like something out of a 60s Bond movie. They're just standing there watching him.
So again, this has only been a few hours.
All right. Continuity question, but I understand why they didn't do it, but I'll wait until the...
Dude, I want to see a live action Atlantis movie. Like, the Disney movie Atlantis.
Yeah.
But with Michael Shanks as that character, please. As the main character.
In that scene we just saw, it was we were in that house too quick. She could have been there, but I would have to think that it would invite Catherine to that wake.
Yeah. Well, Brian, You talk about that Disney Atlantis movie. It should be Michael Shanks, but we'll get Pedro Pascal for it.
Yeah, we will.
So is this fish guy? Does that mean he comes back in Atlantis, right? Since it's under the water.
This is not tied to Atlantis.
Okay.
Hmm.
It's all fish, though.
He's got almost like a Time Lord outfit on, though, hasn't he?
Yeah. Let's see.
It's very 80s outfit.
McDonald's Filet-O-Fish special, $3.99.
Omaraka. Darmak and Jalad.
Hey,
Atamarocca.
Hey, Omaraka. Tanagra.
Yeah. That's it. Stay by the wall.
Whose house is that supposed to be?
Yeah.
Clearly somebody.
Have a great bit.
Whoa.
Yeah. Just I love this bit.
I love that so much.
It's great, isn't it? It's great.
It's so good.
See, this is what I like as well. We're now talking about ancient Babylon as well.
Yep.
That predates the, Egypt.
Hmm.
That doesn't look comfy, does it?
Dun dun dun.
How am I supposed to sleep now? You just said you're going to kill me. That's a quality apartment, Gary.
Yeah.
Nice.
Again, would you be allowed to take that home?
And get paid. I love that. I had no idea how to get us back and get paid.
Christopher Mays, yeah, exactly. Just move them straight in. Yeah, exactly. Christopher Mays. It just never gets fed.
It just dies.
That's cool. That's very cool.
That's super rad.
This just goes into our conversation last night, Garrett, Brian, about how long statues and monuments can exist.
Right.
That's 4,000 years ago, and you've still got some statues there from Babylon. You know, it's amazing. That's
Yeah.
4,000 years ago. That SG6 member didn't look too happy, did he? What are you looking at me like that for?
Yeah. Oh,
programming. And the sets look superb. You know, the production team really did a good job on these sets, didn't they?
yeah, this set's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know that I necessarily want to open a door that I saw the guy walk through from underwater a minute before.
Yeah.
Amaroka.
Yeah.
Babylon was a long time ago.
Yeah. It's all epic, a Gilgamesh kind of stuff they're going back into now as well, isn't it? It's see, I find with this as well, when I first watched it, I thought to myself, so you've got Goa'uld that have been on Earth a lot longer than, you know, ancient Egypt. But you've also got the fact, which at the time I thought, so there are different Goa'uld that are actually trying to rival each other and take over. Because this Belloc or whatever he's called, he was there, then he wasn't there, and then there's other Goa'ulds that pop up around the world as well.
I'm sorry, what was that, John?
I was just saying about when I first watched this episode, I remembered thinking at the time, so there were Goa'uld on Earth long before the ancient Egyptians, and then it made me think at the time that they were rivals to each other because, you know,
Right.
that comes up later as we go along. But at this point, they're already establishing, you know, there are Goa'uld that disappear and then new ones take their place on the planet. So it's almost like a power grab.
Right.
That's not the Doctor you're on about, Gary, is it?
It is not. No. How dare you?
Christopher Mays, yeah, it is, isn't it?
I was just thinking that like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Michael Shanks is such a good actor.
John, I think when he says there would be much pain, I wanted Daniel to say, "Hey, I've been watching Doctor Who the last couple of years, so do your best."
Yeah. Just as you're going, you go, oh, by the way, I eat fish.
Sushi, to be precise.
Yeah. From the fill up. Someone's definitely screwing with their heads, eh?
Also, I was hoping that they would realize that all of them have the exact same memory. I mean, the exact same in the visuals,
Yeah.
details, which they wouldn't if they were at different spots, seeing different things, but they all have the exact down to the nth degree memory.
Right.
Yeah. And they all smell of fish.
Yes.
This is how actually
Why did you resign, number 6?
Yeah. That's how I prep for season 1 of Doctor Who under Shooty, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's not enough.
See, that's good. That's great.
Yeah, that's terrific. Look at that. Nice effects. Although if a planet was that close in the sky, I think it would rip the
It's almost a hint to another episode, mate.
aren't they all? Do you have to call it a thing, Daniel?
It's a Florida beach goer.
You're going to need a bigger beach. It's a sea devil.
Yeah. Have you got any ID? Okay, well, you have to step this way and we'll have to get you to fill in these papers.
All right, you're a citizen.
Yeah, you're claiming asylum.
You're a citizen.
Wet foot, dry foot. To be fair, what that guy looks like, that alien, and the outfit in the bars down where I live, that would be considered normal these days.
Are those the places where you said you wouldn't wear your "I'm here for fun" shirt?
Yeah, shoot you. Babes, I'm here for fun. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. Mike Torres. Yep, you guessed it. Amaraka. Because you're going to kill me anyway.
Amaroga reminds me of that candy. You know, the almond
almond
caramel
roca.
candy?
Almond
Yeah.
roca.
Almond roca.
Yeah, the kind that cracks your teeth if you bite into it.
We didn't have that here.
It's delicious.
It's like chocolate and nuts, a chocolate coating, John, with nuts on top. And if you bite into it, there's like a hard caramel shell, which is about like, biting into concrete. At the
Sounds
center.
great. I love the way
But it
Brian
is
said
good.
that now. He goes, that's delicious.
It's delicious. Almond roca.
Almond
roca.
This episode of Stargate SG-1 brought to you by Almond roca.
Almond roca.
You got a doctor this episode and just put that chocolate bar in there. Flashback.
How would Daniel know about the fate of one person?
He's historical. He's reading his textbooks. But they're like you say, you're not really going to have all of that information in every textbook, are you? That's like the equivalent of, me dying tomorrow and turning up 4,000 years in some book.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the thing that would be recorded.
What are you trying to say?
See, that's exactly how I reacted yesterday, John, right there.
During the
As soon
Biden
as you-
generation?
Yeah, during the whole 47 misbegotten minutes.
Yeah, when the Rani came out of the other Rani's ass.
Yeah, I wouldn't play around with the. No,
So how far down is it though? I'd think, you know, you're not going to get the bends or anything by coming out of there.
Right.
well, I don't. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You might. He could be 5 miles down for all he knows.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't react like I thought they would at all.
Yeah, he does, Mike.
A lot of plot armor.
Yeah. Thank you. Great practical effects on it, though,
Yeah.
on the alien.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
He will. He will discover that
Yeah,
fate.
he will.
Let me leave you this box of almond roca to remember me by.
I
On the
left
shore.
Almond Roca at the gate.
I want the debrief scene where he's talking about, and the general keeps going, almond roca? What?
Over sushi.
Well, that's basically culturally just not right, Jack. They did not react at all like I thought they would.
About that apartment.
I like the landscape. It doesn't look like
It's great.
Great.
It doesn't look like a
Yeah.
Canadian forest. It looks like an actual alien planet,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Christopher Mays, yeah.
Very
Daniel
good.
and Amaraka on the
hungry
water.
yeah, there you go. Daniel Amarok on the water.
Darman
Right.
enchilada.
Almond roca.
All right. As you can see, the next episode that we're going to do next week is Hathor. And if you haven't seen Hathor, then you're going to enjoy that. But I know Gary's going to enjoy it. What we're going to do is we're going to put Gary full screen.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah,
zoom
we
in
are.
of his face.
Gary will be watching that episode.
We're going to turn his
next week.
mic up so you can hear his heavy breathing.
Is
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth in that one next week?
You'll be in your
Thor?
you'll be in your Hugh Hefner smoking jacket next
Thor?
week. Then will you?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the cigar.
With my almond
Hello,
roca.
ladies.
I'll be eating some almond roca.
We're sending
next
Gary
week.
some marriage cake and
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
hey, don't tease.
what'd you guys think about that episode?
So, yeah, Gary, do you want to go first? And everyone in the chat,
Yeah,
give
I
it a 10
actually, honestly,
out of 10.
I mean, I really did like the characters in the last episode, but overall, I was kind of more absorbed into this one, probably because there was a mystery at the core that the last episode didn't have, and some good character, some good if kind of predictable character stuff. But I would give this one a very strong 7.
Yeah, another
Yeah.
6 out of 10 for me. Good episode, great practical effects. Look, it gains a point automatically that they're not in like Canadian forest planet guy, because a lot of the episodes it's like always them in like the same Canadian forest. So the second they give me like an actual alien world, I'm on board. I like this is the first time we see Daniel die. I like the idea of planning out that funeral and all that. Ultimately, though, this episode doesn't feel like it actually moves the story along.
No,
Like the overall lore, it feels like a one-off.
it's a bottle episode, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. So for me, 6 out of 10, and that point he gets for being 6 instead of 5 out of 10 is that all the practical effects and everything they did to make that world and that chamber, like that's a lot of effort, and it looks really good. And we got to see Daniel die, so it's a 5 out of 10 until they give me all those practical effects, and I go 6 out of 10. but ultimately it doesn't do anything really for the lore, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, shows like this, like first season, a lot of it is just, it's not all like every show moves it, right? I mean, because
the best episodes are when you can watch it self-contained and enjoy it, and there's something they're laying foundation for stuff to come. You know, there's both.
Well, like that one where they brought Catherine back, where all the
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I think for me, I'll give it a steady 7 out of 10. I like the practical effects in this. I do like we just saw at the end. Yeah, I do like the effects of the alien planet, which looks really good with the free planets in the sky. That's all really well done. I also love there's some really nice little moments with characters in this story as well. And one of my favorites that we saw was, O'Neill smashing General Hammond's window of his car. Yeah. He's like, that's my car, right?
Yeah, that was good. Plus the military decorum was very legitimate. So.
Yeah, I was looking at Lord Thoth's comment. I knew it because he said those were real Air Force personnel. I knew the woman that handed him the flag with that salute, her stance, the way she did that. I thought that's somebody who's
perfect
knows how to do that right. That's not an actor trying to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's also a clever way as well from the writers, surely. I mean, they must have been talking about that because you respect the flag and you respect the service of, your military, your Air Force and your military staff. You're going to get viewers because they're going to tune in for stuff like this. So, keeping that accurate, I mean, again, for the United States, I mean, I'm in the UK, obviously, but that's a massive chunk of audience, I would say, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Lord Thoth in the comments says he knows that person, that she is real Air Force. It's like,
cool.
Very cool.
Hey,
I mean,
John, can I see your shirt? What shirt are you wearing?
You know what shirt it is.
Normally you guys do this later on. You don't bring that to the show.
Guys, that's a Supernatural shirt, and I actually sent John that. That shirt is actually not even live yet on the website. It's going up this week, so you make sure to check that out, please.
It's quality, everyone.
He doesn't care about my shirt.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite Supernatural shirt ever. It's so sick. Driver picks the music. Shotgun shuts his cake hole. So good.
I mean, just before I go into sort of saying about people and what their ratings were, Brian, it's a good segue time now anyway, because tell us about your channels that you're doing. Tell us about DC Unleashed. Tell us about Popcast, and then just talk about Mixed Teas as well.
Super rad. DC Unleashed is all about DC, and right now it's pretty much almost all exclusively Superman, but there's other news too. And there's a video coming out tomorrow. That's gonna be fun. I get to spoil the ending a little bit. So maybe if you don't want spoilers, don't watch that one.
Your favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
So he survives. He gets his kicks out of these things.
And then the end of this week, where I got a brand new series launching. I can't say what it is, but it's gonna be cool. And of course, mixtees.com. It's how I pay my bills. Mixed Tees is how I pay the bills. So go buy a shirt. I'm slowly putting up the entire catalog from the previous version of Mixed Tees that ran for 20 years before we finally updated the website earlier this year. And all those shirts are slowly coming out.
Very good.
I sent John that shirt ahead of time because I was so happy with it. I was like, someone else needs to appreciate this outstanding T-shirt, and it's scheduled to go up this Wednesday.
So you can basically say that I was the prototype. Basically,
I have the same shirt. I actually had
what I'm getting here. Brian sends John a cool Supernatural shirt, and the only thing he offers to do with me is to make up a shirt of the Doctor, the one that I don't like.
No, I said I'm going to send you marriage cake and lemons.
And a T-shirt of the male Doctor.
And a T-shirt of the male Doctor.
Great, okay.
The male Doctor dressed as an Orion slave girl.
Yeah.
You better not.
Just a big fat white guy with poorly painted greens again.
Just see you broken at the next review, Carrie.
Okay.
But I mean, Mixed Teas, make sure you check it out. I mean, DC Unleashed, I've been watching them. I mean, what are the video lamps, Brian? About 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, they're short. Short.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just me gushing over whatever's new.
I've been a DC guy since I was a kid.
Yeah, the longest one I think was the trailer breakdown. I somehow turned a 2-minute trailer into like 25 minutes.
I liked the last
Talon guys.
I really liked this last trailer.
I liked it too.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'm looking forward to this movie. I know a lot of people aren't, but I'm very much in the camp that I'll wait until I see it. And
I think if they release any others, if they release anything else subsequently, I'm going to intentionally stay away from it because I think I'm at the point of like knowing too much and I don't want to.
Yeah.
So if they come
I mean, I watched the animated movie sort of All-Star Superman again in my collection the other night, and it's just they're just riffing so much off of that.
Yeah,
you know, that comic run. It is quite incredible. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I actually think that they shouldn't put out any more trailers.
No,
like I think that trailer was good. Let's just leave it at that.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people that are like complaining about this movie before it even comes out, which is so weird to me. I've never understood the concept of the moment you see a poster, just like shitting on it because you just happen to like the previous version of that movie or a character.
Yeah.
But there's no way to convince those people that they're being unreasonable. So I've stopped trying.
See, that's why I really love like on YouTube to watch trailers for like 50s and 60s movies, because those could be like even a lot longer than the trailers now. Those could be like 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes, but yet they don't spoil anything. It's like they really had it right that they could really entice you to see the movie, but you still feel that you hadn't seen anything.
Well, if anybody's interested, you know, because this is what I'm doing personally, and I can do a show if people in the chat are interested. As we get closer, I'm basically going to watch all of the Superman movies the same week, so I build into the movie and then go and watch it. So if anybody wants to, then we can come on. We can do a live chat, talk about our favorite.
But then you have to suffer through Superman Returns, bro. That's rough.
Yeah, that is rough.
Even though I love Brandon Ruth.
Superman's an absentee father. Yeah.
I love Brandon Ruth, but geez, that movie is hard to watch.
He's great. The only good thing in that film, I think, is the scene where he saves the plane. I think that's.
And you know, it's funny. Our friend Robert Meyer Burnett had a huge hand in that movie, actually. And
really,
he produced the behind the scenes, official behind the scenes DVD commentary for it. And everything.
Brandon Routh kind of redeemed his Superman in the Arrowverse, though.
Yeah, he did.
Did Robert Meyer Burnett, did he do the documentary? Was he involved with the one when it was narrated by Kevin Spacey? That one.
Yep, he did that one. He did all the featurettes on the DVD. He was on set the entire time. Big part of it. Yeah.
I
know because I interviewed him for an upcoming documentary we're doing. So.
Oh, cool. Oh. Yeah, that's a good documentary. That one.
Hint.
And I mean, again, just going back to sort of some scores on the board. I mean, we've got Juliet, you know, she's basically said sort of 7 out of 10. I think we've got Julie who's saying 7, like the effects and the story kept moving. So I'll see if I can pick up some more. I'm sure there was one from Lord Foff. Yeah, it's 5 out of 10. Yeah, you know, he's very hard to please, is Lord Foff, you know. But I mean, I got asked a question during the show from Juliet as well, on whether we're going to do 2 episodes a week or 3 episodes a week. All I will say to you is the standard will be probably 2 episodes a week, but based on sort of family commitments and everything, we'll see how we are. If we've got room and it fits the timetable, we might be able to do 3, but we'll let you know as we go along. But the standard will be sort of 2 episodes per week.
We have lives, people.
And I would also say as well, look, you know, this is great fun. You know, I'm enjoying it with my friends, just watching the shows and having all of you in the chat. Feel free to send feedback to us on anything you'd also like us to do.
Sure, you'll like it, John. And you're getting free t-shirts out of this.
Yeah.
No, they're not free. Pay for them.
No. He made me pay for them. He made me pay above market price.
Yeah, above market price. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
actually, I think the shirt you're wearing might have been free. That might have been a toss.
He did. But you know, he has said to me privately in chat that due to the ongoing tariffs, he's going to charge me twice the price now.
Mixed teas will never have a tariff. That's untrue.
Yeah.
We made it very clear. We make everything here. There's no tariffs required.
Yeah. But trust me, you know, if you go on Mixed Teas, have a look on it. If you're a sci-fi buff like I am, there's something on there I'm sure you'll find and you'll like. But also, as Brian is very good at doing, if someone gives him an idea during a chat or a live show, he'll probably make it.
I probably will. Yeah. Like I said, everything we make here. So when someone's like, you know, I would like this, I'm like, I'm on it. And then it will be on the site for like 4 years just for people to buy.
You know, so next week
I'll print a couple dozen of them, and maybe 3 people will buy them.
Next week you'll have like Jaffa brand vodka or something that'll come out. You know,
I'm doing the Shane size vases. Like, we have coffee cups. I'm going to do gigantic coffee cups, and there's going to be an extra size called Shane size.
Yeah, but when you do them, you'll just have to do a video shot of me, like just like lying in it. You know.
Next week we'll have the new Omaroka shirt John will be wearing.
Omaroka.
Yeah.
You know, I would totally make like a Dharma and Jalad style thing for this episode. Wasn't as good as that Dharma and Jalad episode. That's why. No,
there's plenty more good ones to come. But I mean, again, you know, I'll just quickly Victor Fontaine. Yeah, there have been so many versions of Superman in movies and on TV. Yeah. Everyone has their own version and what they think Superman should be, and the one they want to see on the screen. Yeah, true. And I think, as I said, this time James Gunn is going to, you know, all-star Superman. I know you said yesterday, Brian, you know, during the show, you know, is a valid point. It's the fact that, you know, James Gunn is no idiot. You know, he's made some dark movies. He's made some different style movies. Not everything is whimsical and comedy, you know, splashed into his action movies. You know, he's a talented director and writer. So I think he's going to do fine with it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he does.
People don't realize this, but like Zack Snyder's most famous film, the film that got him set up, the zombie movie, what was it called? Dawn of the Dead or whatever it was called.
2004 one.
Yeah, that one was actually written by James Gunn.
Yeah.
So, you know, Zack Snyder's most famous film, the movie that started his career, was written by the guy a lot of Snyder fans are bitching about nonstop.
Yeah, but you know, all I want to say about when people bitch about this trailer and everything, I sat and I watched Justice League, the Snyder cut, right? And I remember when Aquaman was about to go into the water and they were doing that Nordic singing as he was about to go back into the water. And I sat there and I was watching it and I was thinking to myself, the woman who's holding his jumper singing, I thought to myself, she's going to sniff that jumper any minute. And she sniffed the jumper. I was joking when I said that, but she actually sniffed the jumper and he went in the water. What? Who gives you that to do? Oh, by the way, he's going to go in the water. Just sniff the jumper.
Yeah. That was a long scene with like,
it was.
I love the Snyder cut, but there are like, look, it didn't have to be 4 hours. Like, there was a lot of scenes that could have been cut down and it wouldn't have changed the tone of that movie. Like some of the Wonder Woman scenes where it's like the Wonder Woman theme music, like it's all in super slow motion. You're like, I just don't like, this is not required.
Yeah.
And like every once in a while it's cool to have the super slow motion, but like, dude, there was a lot, and I love that movie, but it's like it's excessively long. I mean, James Gunn made a movie called Brightburn. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Netflix, I think. Very cool
Brian,
movie.
Brian,
Again,
make a
Elseworlds.
make a sniff the jumper shirt for John.
Brightburn's very good because like it shows that James Gunn can produce these super dark films that are centered around you know, the superhero genre, and it's so unique. It's like what if Superman, you know, was crash landed on, you know, on a farm somewhere, was taken in by good you know, American farmers or whatever, like these good people.
Yeah.
But Superman itself was like not a good person. Like, and as a
Very
child,
well
he develops these powers and becomes a straight up serial killer. Essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed that one, and again, that's a DC Elseworlds movie. You know,
Yeah,
right
they've done a million Elseworlds riffs on that.
Yeah, I think so. I'm positive about this new Superman movie that's coming. You know, at this moment in time, we need a good Superman movie.
Yeah.
All of us, and in fact, I'm going to say it. Marvel need a good Superman movie because whatever they try at the moment, their movies are tanking. So they need someone to reinvent, re-energize the superhero genre. So it might end up being DC that might actually give them a lifeline.
As long as we don't get a Martha.
Yeah.
As long as we don't get that, I'm good.
Martha. All right.
Yeah. So I mean that's it for today. Really appreciate you all joining us, and you know, we'll see you next week. Continue to communicate with us throughout the week. You know, I'm on Twitter and X. Brian obviously is as well. So you know, feel free to reach out
and like, share, and subscribe.
Absolutely, thank you very much, Gary. But until then, look after yourselves all, and yeah, thanks for joining us. Take care of yourselves. See ya.
I'm Aroka.